Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today, we have another turbo video. Ladies and gentlemen, we can see that we're at 108,000 followers, a little bit more. So that is pretty good. We can also see a few things, have come out with turbo, right? The main thing that I am going to be talking about today is this open format tech, right? We will be also talking about this. So we can see that, ladies and gentlemen, that if I go, we see that this hub has officially integrated Turbo, bringing me magic to multi-chain infrastructure built on this chain, right? In a partnership with Near Protocol, right? And Aurora. This integration expands Turbo's reach across chains, unlocking new use cases and liquidity opportunities. So this is what I like to see, right? We already know that Turbo has done pretty much everything in terms of exchanges. There may just be a handful of exchanges we get listed on, but in terms of everything else, we are going above and beyond. And I'm going to stop you guys right away because I know some of you are going to be like, well, Turbo price is down. Well, guys, everything is down. So this is not a Turbo issue. It has never been a Turbo issue, right? Something like, you know, Peanut or Chill Guy, those coins are in the dumps for a reason, right? And they're not going to really recover. They may have a small, quick pump here and there, but they're not going to recover the way Turbo will recover. So that is the first thing. And the second thing is actually a little bigger. So you can see that, we can see this tweet has come out saying you can build your own rewards platform on Turbo Chain. Here's what's live and what you can expect soon, right? This isn't just another point system. With OpenFormat's AI powered platform, Turbo holders can earn dynamic rewards for meaningful contributions. Your creativity, collaboration, and impact now count on chain, right? What's live now? AI powered tracking of contributions, create your own on chain badge in minutes, dynamic leaderboards, and tiered incentives. Anyone can build on Turbo Chain in minutes. What's coming next? AI agents to reward, creativity and collaboration, cross-channel leaderboards, Discord X, and more. Customizable on-chain tasks for Turbo Chain builders. This is just the beginning, right? So we can see absolutely banger news has come out today. This is why I like this coin. This is why I'm high in this coin, and this is why I think this coin will go into the multiple billions of market cap on the lowest end. On the lowest end, right? I believe, we will, 20x from here, worst case scenario, right? That's like the worst case scenario. And that is considering, and, a pretty weak altcoin season. However, I do think this is going to be the biggest altcoin season ever, right? Bitcoin supply shock is coming soon. Regardless of what people say, there's less and less Bitcoins on, exchanges. So that's always a big thing. One thing I also want to talk about, speaking about Bitcoin, is that the Bitcoin dominance, ladies and gentlemen, right before we dive into the turbo chart, is slowly, gradually going up. We did say that I do expect for price to come somewhere into this area before it potentially could sell off a little bit, right? So this is the thing, right? I expect us to go to roughly 63.5% before we get some kind of reaction. I also do expect Bitcoin to keep on dropping, right? We can see Bitcoin has had a big rejection. If we go on the daily candle, we can see that there was a big daily rejection candle over here. We may have a pullback roughly to 98,500, if anything, but I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we are still on board and on track to do some type of triple tap reversal, right? Triple tap reversal, right? I will say, worst case scenario, I do believe, we might take out this low over here, but I'm not really going to be looking at that, right? I'm not going to be looking at that just yet. Overall, I still believe we will be in this range. I still believe there's no reason for me not to believe we will be in this range, given the context of the market. If we already had multiple big pumps, right? Let's say this was the second or third one. This is literally the first one, right? Because, we had consolidation off of these highs for months, and then we finally pumped, right? So if this was the second or third one, maybe I would consider it, but this is literally the first rally off of the massive support we were building over the last few months. So I am really, really doubtful that this is just it in terms of this cycle. Like, I really am, especially with ETFs, especially with all the fundamental news that's coming out in terms of Bitcoin in countries and everything, in terms of its supply and demand, right? For me, this is just the beginning, right? It's just going to take longer, right? So for me, I still believe at the minimum we're going to have, one more rally, and then next time we go sideways, we're going to have to make a decision. Okay, is this it, or are we going to have usually like what happens most of the times is like a three-way type pump, right? Where we go somewhere like this. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go to 240,000, right? We may top at like 180, 200, 150. We will see. But generally speaking, right, it's something like this. Every time we kind of expand, we kind of have the first phase, I would say, right? We have a nice big pump, right? Then sideways movement. Then we have another nice big pump, sideways movement. And then the third time around is just not that big. It is not that big. We can see historically, right? So if that's going to be a similar case, then, we will have one more nice big pump, maybe like I said, to the 30, 40,000s. And then from there, we might go to like 55. And that's where we might start selling off. That is just speculation at the moment. I don't really care as long as we just keep going up. Now that that's out the way, let's jump right into Turbo News. Turbo News is still the same, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of technical analysis. I do expect us to be hitting these levels over here. This is where I'm still looking at, right? At 0.0031, roughly this area, right? This is where I'm looking for the recovery, something like this, where we kind of are going to be in the zone, this type of triangle, right? Something like this, and then an explosion out. What I'm going to want to see for lots of confirmation is a strong, strong, strong rally. Okay. A very, very strong rally. It is most likely going to happen next week, as this is going to be out on Saturday. Saturday, usually a very dead day. And Sunday, usually towards the end of Sunday, we might get a little bit of movement, right? But generally speaking, the first few steps is for one to get above this zone over here. Once we do that, we're going to want to get above a nice swing area. So over here, right? Something like this, ladies and gentlemen, is what I want to see in the future, right? And over here, we might sell off a decent amount because we have a nice big order block. But this is generally what I expect for the next few weeks to come. I do believe we will recover. I do believe we will recover. We also, if we do this, let me just clear it actually first. When we do this, ladies and gentlemen, right, you gotta realize this, right, that this is technically a zone, right? If I go something like this, right? So once we kind of start creating higher highs and start going like this, we are technically going to be building on top of this support and resistance, a diagonal one. And that is where I'm going to be seeing how price reacts and, for it to create higher highs. So that is what I believe, right? I've seen this happen multiple times on different pairs like Forex pairs or on gold or just anything historically, right? I've also seen some stuff, and based off research, most of the time, February is a good month, right? I know things are down now, but things can also start really blowing up in the beginning of quarter two. Remember, timing and the prediction of timing is just one thing. What matters more, are the candles and the fundamental sides in terms of meme coins, right? And as you see, Turbo keeps on delivering. This is literally for me the biggest, best, meme coin out there, if not one of them. I still believe we'll be entering that top 10. We won't be entering that top 5 anymore because Trump is simply going to be bigger than us. He just kind of, paid to win. I mean, it's Trump at the end of the day, but yeah, so we are going to be pushing for that 6 to 10 spot this cycle in terms of meme coins. I believe we'll hit it, and I believe Robinhood will happen. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.